Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another Suhoor Bite. Today I have a very special guest for you, Alex.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm here.
This is a bit of a strange episode because we actually recorded an episode a few weeks ago before you started your Kickstarter for Spirit Swap.
Yep.
You were quite nervous back then to I wouldn't say nervous, but anxious to get this thing on the road.
Yeah, I was straight up very nervous. I was extremely nervous. It was just like on the eve, like we recorded it right before Ramadan, and it was just on the eve of the Kickstarter. So I'm pretty sure you can tell in the recording that I'm really nervous, and I'm just kind of like really hoping things go well. Fast forward.
Right, we're now a few weeks later, and things went well.
Yeah, to say the least, things alhamdulillah went really, really well. So now we have to do this little intro.
Right, now we have to update this so that it's clear that things went well. The Kickstarter isn't over yet?
No, we're like in our last week right now. We have a few more days. So I don't know if people listen to the episode and they like what they hear and they're interested, they can still check out the Kickstarter.
Right, for Spirit Swap on Kickstarter right now. Let's go forward to the recording we did a few weeks ago about grandmas and food, and I hope everybody enjoys. Today I am talking to Alex, a game developer from Lebanon. The game Spirit Swap, which you're working on, is on Kickstarter right now. I understand it is lo-fi beats to match 3-2. Alex, thanks so much for being here.
But that's not what's important right now. Ramadan Kareem to your listeners.
Ramadan Kareem. How is what is happening in your life?
I've been in the States for like 4 years, and for many reasons, I haven't been able to go back home. But usually Ramadan is like a super special time for us back home. Just to give you the cliff notes, my family on my mom's side is Muslim, and on my dad's side is Christian. But we're raised by, the mom's side, as is tradition.
Yeah.
So so culturally, I am Muslim, if that's such a thing. Like that's what I consider myself. And Ramadan is huge in my grandma's house. Like she fasts all day and cooks. You know the type. So she cooks all freaking day and doesn't taste anything. She'll have like a non-Muslim on standby to taste the food. Like I wish I was kidding. It's like get the Christian neighbor or whatever. Just get someone in here. Does this need more salt? It's like just you're 80 years old. Just taste. I'm pretty sure like you're fine by now.
My grandma used to be the same. My tetas, she would not like went into the kitchen, took 30 minutes to prepare a meal. This is like woke up at like 7 a.m. to start preparing some stuff, went back to bed, came back out at 10 to check some stuff, and then from 11 till Iftar.
Yep. It starts as soon as she wakes up before dawn. She has a little food, drinks a little water. She goes back to sleep. When she wakes up again, it's cooking time. Like there's no, and I'm like, Teta, Ramadan is about, about fasting and reflecting. And she's like, it's about me fasting. It's not about you fasting. And I'm like, I know, but what? So we have like, I'm sure like your Teta also has like the meals that are like extremely iftar,
right?
Like staples. Like for us, it's I don't know how to say it in English, to be honest. Pearl couscous, like what's it called?
Yeah, the pearl couscous.
Yeah, like with onion sauce and hummus and chicken, and you eat it like with a side of like leban, like yogurt, like the thick stuff. That's like my favorite thing in the world. We call it Maghribiyya, which it's like from Maghrib, and my grandma makes it without fault. She makes her own ma'moul every year, which is she used to like get us to like sit there and put the dates or like the filling in the little like the little mold. Once she was done doing that, it's an Arab household. You enlist every child and every woman. Everyone sits in the kitchen. We're making anab, grape leaves, like stuffed grape leaves. We're making mughrabiyya. We're making whatever Teta wants to make. We're making it, and nobody put anything in your mouth. Also, don't chew gum. That's
my Teta would have her staples, and she would have her staples all year, honestly. But the one that I always remembered was always the macaroni bechamel. She would make a mean, just like a big macaroni bechamel, and it was always my favorite meal.
Yeah, people keep telling me here in America about mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is fine. You have not had macaroni bechamel.
No, this is like this is like level up from mac and cheese. But the funny thing about my grandmother is she was old. She was 76, which for an Egyptian woman from poor part of the city is exceptional.
Yeah.
So she would always sort of like waggle through the house, but it was, I would help her. Like she would lean on my arm as we walked, and she was such a lovely human. But she had power. There's a certain type of power that I think comes with having dealt with the nonsense of life.
Being a woman in the Arab world
Yeah.
for 70 plus years. Yeah.
Right. That there's this power that comes from somebody who has done that.
Yeah. I feel it because my grandma is exactly the same. Like my teta, I'll tell you about this another time, but there was a time she was so good with like the ship. She could hit me across the room. Like I would play our PS1 too much and she'd be like, come eat. And I'd be like, yeah, 5 more minutes. I got to find a save point, back then. So one time I did that one too many times and I hear, like she doesn't like to swear because she's a good Muslim, but like you hear like a choked anger and I hear, and I get hit with like her wooden ship straight in the freaking head. I look back. She's like meters away. She's like 5 meters away down the corridor, like next to the kitchen. And I'm like, how did you do that? And she's looking at me like, are you going to come eat or what? And I was like, okay.
I spent 7 hours on this. Are you coming? Like, yeah.
I mean, she's right. Now that I have had to cook my own meals, especially like Arab meals, and I know how long it takes, I get it, Grandma.
Yeah. You cook before you can eat, so you're just making the food, and you're like, oh, all of this.
I'm so hungry. Yeah.
How did Teta do this for 7 hours straight? And her food would smell so great. Like my food, it's okay, but like Teta was a magician.
Yeah.
Like everything smelled great. And then stand there for 7 hours doing that. My Teta lost her sense of smell. Maybe that helped. At some point, she was just like, I can't smell anymore. There's hilarious stories with that I will tell you some other time because I
feel like I read something about that on your Twitter sometime. Maybe I'm imagining it.
Every now and then, when somebody would pass gas, she would walk into the room and she would have heard it and she would go like, "If," and we'd just be like, "You can't smell." She's like, "I smell this." And whoever
I smell it here where it counts in my heart.
And whoever did it would get so red.
I'm surprised at your insolence passing gas in front of your teta. We don't do that.
I would never. But also, if something like that were to occur, she would suddenly smell just to make sure that we were embarrassed enough about it.
Amazing. The power.
The power.
The pettiness. I love it. It's like, I can't smell it, but you still can't do it.
Do you wanna really quickly still mention Spirit Swap?
Yeah. So Spirit Swap is a match 3 narrative heavy game where you explore a city and you meet your friends and you play some match 3. It's really cool. It's hard to explain it in words. It's much cooler if you look at it. So you should go to Kickstarter and look at Spirit Swap. Lo-fi beats to match 3 too.
Alex, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for exchanging stories about food and
Teta.
And Teta. Stories about Teta. That's what we need more of. Stories about Teta.
That's what Ramadan is all about, honestly.
It really is. It really is.
Thank you, Habibi. Have a good day.
You too.